I'll take whomever to the emergency room and inform the doctors of the immediate need for an operation.
Don't forget to punch the clock.
That's cinema, baby.
Running a temporal pincer movement.
What?
Pincer movement. But not in space. In time. Rumsniff vår åkmästningen upp. Ja, Ciao. Rumsniff. Running a temporal pincer movement.
Hello, and welcome to The Good, the Pod, and the Ugly, a film podcast where we normally talk about a single director, producer, actor's work, looking at it from the outside in, so starting with the end film and the beginning film and working our way towards the middle in our patented pincer technique. But however, this season, instead of looking at a single filmography, we have been doing hacks with each of your four regular co-hosts, picking a director considered a hack by Hollywood and picking four movies to show the other three to see what we think about them and what we think about hacks in general. Today is our last film in the hacks series. We've been covering Peter Yates at Ken's request. And today we are talking about the 1979 coming-of-age drama Breaking Away.
Oscar-winning coming-of-age drama. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm Ken.
Ciao, it's Thomas. Oh, you wanted to do that? Did I steal your thunder, Shannon?
See.
We're joined this week by Shannon in the bunker.
Ciao tutti. Come stai?
Who speaks actually a little Italian, if I remember right.
Sì. Ho studiato in Italia.
Wow. And we'll only be speaking in Italian this episode. Oh. Well, we made it. We made it through the hot rock somehow.
Yeah, the heist movie from 1972 equal to 1992's Sneakers.
Bullshit. Fuck. No.
Which we already agreed upon last week. A judge has sealed the orders and all that stuff. Could we talk about how Shannon, Thomas, and I, along with assorted spouses, saw this movie this week? It was such great timing.
Yeah, when I saw that it was at the Hollywood Theater, I thought, man, we got to take advantage of this. I'm so glad that we did. Seeing it in the crowd was really fun.
It was. And when I picked Yates, I had no idea that, this would be playing the week we were recording.
Or how terrible the hot rock was. So both the Breaking Away and the hot rock had a few things in common. Both have a PG rating from the MPAA.
Yay.
Both have four dudes.
Yeah.
They have a cop in both movies and a semi-truck.
Mm-hmm.
And in both, a wheeled vehicle carries another wheeled vehicle.
Whoa.
And both, you have your protagonist going around in circles.
Mm-hmm.
And both have a father disappointed in his unemployed son.
Mm-hmm.
Both, a mother and a son enjoy a record. Both. We didn't even talk about that dumb shit in the hot rock, but it's fine. Where he puts on the record and it's the sounds of like the Indy Speedway or something, and it's the same in the
amazing.
book.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Okay,
it was. The dude does the same thing in The Big Lebowski, where he's meditating to sounds of bowling matches.
That's true. I really like the race car bit. I thought that was great.
Okay. Well, both movies have plots that revolve around cut stones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the cutter. You have the cutters. Yeah, and a jewel thief, right? Yeah, both have small business owners as side characters to the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Both have peeing.
Yep.
I'm not swimming. I'm peeing in the quarry, right?
Uh-huh,
yeah. Okay, and then a baby pees on Dortmunder, and then everybody who's been eating lead paint in the audience spits a little bit of it out. Oh, spit take. Hey, both have lead characters shaving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And both they rescue their friend from inside a box.
Wow. Both have a main character who has to change what they ingest based on a health issue. The dad.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Stomach problem. Well, I guess one has a heart problem in Breaking Away. Hey, Ryan, you didn't join us. have you seen Breaking Away before, and how many times?
No, this is my first time.
Wow.
Yes, I had to take care of my kid that night, so I was unable to attend.
Yeah, it's a PG movie. It might be a little scary for her. So this is for your first time. Wow. Okay. Shannon, you wanted to join on this podcast, this episode. Have you seen Breaking Away before?
I have, yeah. In fact, I've seen it another time at a Portland theater with a bunch of bike enthusiasts in the month of June. Previously, probably 15, 20 years ago. And I've seen it a few other times as well. So this is probably my fourth time seeing it.
Ken, you used to ride a bicycle even more than you do now.
Mm-hmm. I saw it a couple times when I was in my teens. Coincidentally, my brother was the big bike rider. And we were the age roughly of the guys, the kids, the teenagers. And now this is the first time I've seen it in 30, almost maybe 40 years. I'm like closer to the age of the dad. Funny how time works.
Wow, I want to put a pin in that. The second kid.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna have the younger. Okay.
Oh,
I have a big announcement to make at the end of this episode. Stay tuned.
Oh, what were you going to say, Shannon?
Oh, just that it was funny when they were announcing it and their friend was like, "Oh, I didn't know people your age." And he's like, "Son, don't say anything else."
But also, that was Moocher, right? The short one, who's getting married, who's probably going to have a kid around the same age as his younger brother or sister, right?
Possibly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'd seen this, I guess, once before. And so this was my second viewing. And I also now own a digital copy of it. So I can watch it on airplanes or if I'm out at the gym riding my bike So 79, also covered on this podcast. You could have seen in theaters. Very limited release, but Jericho Mile.
TV movie, yeah.
Yeah. But also released in theaters briefly. You could have watched Manhattan.
Canceled.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh, good one.
And Escape from Alcatraz.
Great one. Ooh.
And I don't think we covered 1941, but that also gets in my confusion about what comedy was in the 70s from last episode.
Sorry, good. I just was going to say Escape from Alcatraz, The Rock, The Hot Rock. You know, kind of all.
Same movie.
Basically the same movie.
Dwayne Johnson.
Free association over here. Sorry, Ken.
That's quite all right. You're the guest. Go on. So do you want to talk about Peter Yates a little bit before we get into the movie?
Yeah.
The reason I chose him is because we did The Friends of Eddie Coyle, one of probably his best regarded movie of his career. His two most successful movies being Bullet and The Deep.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Deep was Jacqueline Bisset, reunited with Jacqueline Bisset. To briefly touched on Yates's career or biography a little bit in the first episode, but I'd like to just go over it really quick. How he started as an actor, went to the military, worked as a racing driver and a manager for a very famous British race driver whose name will mean nothing to anybody, so I won't even bother. And then he worked as an assistant director with Tony Richardson and J. Lee Thompson. He worked in TV, where he transitioned into being a director, did 7 episodes each of The Saint and Danger Man. Danger Man being the series that preceded The Prisoner. The Prisoner almost as a nominal, surreal sequel to that series.
Patrick McGowan, I think.
Yeah, his first movie was a musical with a popular musical artist of the time that is best not mentioned. Then he did an adaptation of a play.
Michael Jackson?
Yes. He directed a movie based on a play that he also directed the stage version of. And then he got Robbery, the film about the Great Train Robbery, which caught the attention of Steve McQueen, which we talked about in Bullet. And then that was it. He became a New York guy, went from London to being a New York guy. And his filmography, I think this has taken so long for us to record this. I think we've all seen a couple extra Yates films during recording these recording sessions.
Mother, Drugs, and Speed.
I watched, of course, Robbery, Murphy's War, For Pete's Sake, Eyewitness.
Wait, is that a movie?
Which one?
For Pete's Sake?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Barbra Streisand. Really, really, if you think the Hot Rock had goofy humor, that doesn't land well. That one's even worse, but still filmed with his 70s style of, it's a docudrama, guys. This really happened. And then really breaking away, I think, is probably the capper on this era of his films, which some are terrible, some are great. Because then we get a reuniting with Steve Tessich with Eyewitness, which is not as successful.
AKA the janitor.
Yeah. And then Koral, which we talked about, unfortunately. And then he goes back to more theatrical fare with The Dresser, reunites again with Tessich for Eleni. And then he does a super entertaining but super dumb legal thriller with Dennis Quaid again and Cher, which is Suspect. And then the House on
that's the title of it, right?
Suspect. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually really fun if you just turn your brain off. But nowhere near the style, the distinctive style I think his best work of the 70s and late 60s had. Strangely enough, in the early 70s, he was earmarked to film an adaptation of Don Quixote written by Waldo Salt. Waldo Salt, who had been blacklisted and had a really rough time.
That's why people were asking where he was.
Yeah. Where's Waldo? His dream project that got him back into greater artistic standing and led to 2 Oscars for screenwriting, etc., was spending 3 years writing an adaptation of Don Quixote that Yates was on board to direct with Richard Burton as Quixote and Peter O'Toole, who he worked with on Murphy's War, as Sancho Panza. What's interesting is that Yates's last work is a TV movie based on Don Quixote, not written by Waldo Salt, starring John Lithgow and Bob Hoskins. And that movie didn't happen. And then that led to some of the stranger comedies that he made, the For Pete's Sake and Mother Jugs and Speed. And then commercially, I think The Deep reoriented him to being a guy to hire. And then Tessich, it was Yates's idea to combine 2 of Tessich's different screenplays into one, which led to Breaking Away.
Oh, really? This is 2
Yeah, there was originally a script just about bikes, about racing and college. And then the other one was about 4 friends, after high school, before college, in the same city, and the kind of the townies and the college and the stuff between them. So it was combined.
So Ryan, if you had to give this an Academy Award, what would you give it for, do you think?
For Breaking Away?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the script, that's what it won for, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The script is pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing script. It was also Paul Dooley was also nominated, wasn't The Mom nominated as well?
Yeah, and it's nominated for Best Picture and Best Director.
Yeah. So it did quite well, and I think it really benefits from the style that I was talking about last week with The Hot Rock. Also a great movie.
Jesus.
So, Ryan, before we started recording, I made a bet with Thomas that you don't like this movie.
Are we
We're not at reactions yet.
I know. I'm just saying, since we typically fall on different sides of liking things.
So, Shannon, if you win, does Ryan get a piece of whatever the bet is?
You get a big, shiny bike trophy.
Woo!
You get a diamond, but you have to wait a few hours still for it.
Yikes. I'll take whomever to the emergency room and inform the doctors of the immediate need for an operation.
Hey, there was a guy introducing this film at the Hollywood, and I'm really shocked when I was reading up on it that this had a different title when it was filming. And he didn't mention it because it's great. Bambino.
Oh, that's good. Bambino.
Yeah.
What does that mean in Italian?
Like kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the son, he's a bambino.
Yeah, I guess the breaking away, that means like getting free, but also it's like a sports term, right? Like a break.
Yeah, a breakaway is when there's a peloton or a group of cyclists, and then one person at one point in the race, usually decided before the race even starts with the team, breaks away. And it's usually him and a couple of other guys in his team and maybe one guy from another team who wants to keep up.
Okay.
So it's a multi-layered term, and it's a great title.
Yeah. If you had the Italian word, the Italian B word what was it?
Bambino?
Babino?
Bambino.
I don't know if as many people would be interested in watching it. I think they would think that it would be a foreign film.
Yeah.
An ID film.
I think breaking away makes sense even if you
That's
don't
what
know
the dad
cycling
calls.
term.
He's like, I don't want this ID food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anti-Italian sentiments.
Yes, he refers to everything Italian as ID. All the foods as ini.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
Zucchini, linguine, fettuccine.
Paul Dooley, just give that guy some French fries, or in a few years when he's in Popeye, some hamburgers, because he plays Wimpy.
Oh,
okay.
Oh. He is really the weirdly the heart of the movie. I think.
I would say him and Barbara Barry, yeah, the mom and dad.
Yeah, they kind of sneak up. Like, I always think of Larry McMurtry writing The Last Picture Show. As he wrote it, he found he was more interested in the older people than the younger people his own age. And I think there's a little bit of that in this film as well.
Yeah, except for Cyril probably is the true heart of the film. The Daniel Stern character.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because he's kind of the outsider looking in, but also... Actually, Dennis Quaid, I would say, is probably the heart of the film.
Are you just going to list every character?
Because I think...
No, wait. Rorschach is the heart of the film.
I think one interesting thing of this film, and like just how it opens, is that it opens with outside the town, like when they're walking through the clearing, the woods to get to the quarry. Mm-hmm. It starts with Dennis Quaid on camera, and that's where the camera's eye is, and your eye is, and he's singing. And then you have Moocher, played by Jackie Earle Haley, from Bad News Bears fame, next to him, asking him like kind of not fully sycophantic questions, but like kind of sidekick questions, like, "Oh, did you write all that yourself, or what about number 2?" And then you get very briefly what was presumably the protagonist, Dennis Christopher is Dave Stoller. How do you say the B word again?
Bambino.
The Bambino. And he has like a very brief thing just about the Italians. And then you have Daniel Stern's whole monologue about finding his girl. Like, this is what happened. Like, where he lost his heart and his girlfriend ran off and is probably married now, like a few months earlier. And so the movie is not discombobulating or imbalanced, but it just doesn't have a focused central character. Like, it's not until well after the query that you have any like fixed on the Dennis Christopher character.
It's very naturalistic.
I do think the movie's kind of setting up Dennis Quaid as the star, and he would typically be your lead protagonist, right? Because he's the ex-football guy. Mm-hmm. He's super hot. So I like the wrong footing that happens there.
Mm-hmm. And Dennis Quaid, we have to say, man, that guy.
A snack.
God, jeez, man.
I didn't even know they had 6-packs at this time. I thought that was when he took off the shirt. It just felt very
those
bizarre.
little jean shorts he's wearing.
Yeah.
When he gets on the bike late in the movie, I'm like, you have to do better there. You just gym hot, dude, because no cardio on that guy.
Yeah, it's all upper body as well.
But boy, that's one good-looking young man. Not to be gross.
He jumps down into the water and he hides into the fridge. And that makes me think of, in the 80s, there's a lot of kids getting locked in old fridges. And
does this actually happen, or is this like a media thing?
Well, I don't know, but there was I was a fan of Punky Brewster, and there was an episode where
is that a band? What's Punky Brewster?
You don't know what Punky Brewster is?
I was born in the 2000s.
Oh, okay. Well, Punky Brewster was a show about a young girl who I think was an orphan who was adopted by an older man.
Yeah.
What?
Henry?
Creeper.
I think his name was Henry. And she had a friend, Cherry, and they were playing in like the courtyard of their kind of New York apartment.
Her name's Punky and her friend's name's Cherry?
I think so.
Okay.
But they're playing hide and seek, and Cherry, I think, I haven't seen this in many, many years since I was a child, locks herself into an old abandoned fridge to play hide and seek and gets locked in there. And it was like a public service announcement. Don't lock yourself in old fridges because they would seal and you suffocate.
So don't shake hands with gay people or sit on toilet seats because you get AIDS.
Yeah.
And don't hide in refrigerators.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part of that episode is Punky Brewster actually duct tapes it closed so nobody can get her friend.
I did have a friend in middle school who locked himself in the refrigerator. Luckily, we were there to get him out, but that
Wait,
did happen.
really?
Yeah.
How? Wait. So was the fridge empty?
Yeah.
Why?
It was.
Why was he? Why? What?
I think refrigerators used to latch more, and this was a real risk. Like,
Yeah.
now it's just
They
like
used to have the latch.
They had
So
the
if
latch
you-
and not the pull handle.
And his nickname was Lettuce, so he thought that was where he was supposed to go.
He's always confused when they're like, "Let us pray." He's like, "What? Why do I have to lead this again?"
I grew up in a rural desert town just outside of Phoenix, and in the portion of the desert that we hung out in near our friend's house, it was kind of like a dumping ground for all of the people who live nearby. And so there was an old refrigerator there in the
I saw that Indiana Jones movie, the fourth one, where he hides in the
It could
fridge.
withstand a nuke. Yep.
Yes. If you put saguaros in that desert that Indy is running around in, then it could be like where I grew up.
So you all just would get inside of fridges because it was so hot to cool off?
No, this particular fellow was not the sharpest tool in the shed, So,
or the fridge, apparently.
yes. He was doing a bit, and then he panicked when he realized he could not get out.
And were you the one that let him out, or are you sitting there laughing, wondering how long it would go on?
Oh no, I was the guy who got him out. The other friends were the laughers.
Very good, Ryan. Proud of you.
Back in the 80s and 90s, could you call the fire department for that? Like a cat in the tree?
I think it would be too late, wouldn't it?
Well, you just need to have someone on the outside open it. You don't need a fire department.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're getting a little caught up on this refrigerator thing. Does someone want to do the plot to this film? Shannon, would you like it to do the plot? Sounds like you've seen it more the last 20 years than...
Oh, okay.
And when you do the plot, if you could put uhs and ums in regularly, it's Ken loves that.
All right. I started off with an
Oh, and Italian as well. Do Italian, and I'll do a live translation.
Va bene. Andiamo. So let's see. We've got 4 recent graduates. They're cutters. They live in a town in Indiana. I don't know the name of the town because I have forgotten.
Bloomington.
And, what'd you say?
Bloomington.
Bloomington. Wonderful. There's a college in the town. So you have your townies, the cutters, and you got the college kids. The 4 friends are all apparently enjoying a summer without any work. They just got laid off from the A&P and they're going to the quarry. Our main character, perhaps, what's his name? Dave?
Yeah.
Is obsessed with biking, and he was a sickly child, but now he's biking all around. He's obsessed with the Italian team, the Cinzano team, and he's speaking Italian, driving his straight-laced parents crazy, especially his dad. And the other kids are kind of dealing with, life as it comes. Mooch is getting married to Nancy. Dennis Quaid is the fading football star who is realizing that all the college kids are staying the same age. While he's getting older. And then Daniel's turn is just a goofball. Okay, so then the plot would be, I think you should take over, Thomas.
Okay.
I laid some groundwork for you.
Dave's really excited that the Italians are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
An Italian racing team, and he's going to be able to ride with them. Prior to that, he's able to ride to Bloomington or somewhere else. It's like 100 miles away by drafting a truck, which happens to be an Italian team truck. Or
Which is, it's so unlikely that a Cinzano truck is driving through Indiana.
It's meant to be. It's
on a regular basis where the truck driver is.
It makes sense that the truck driver would be giving him the signals of how fast he's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he ends up going like 55 miles an hour or something on his bike.
I think he makes it to 60.
Yeah, got to 60.
Yeah, and then the truck driver gets pulled over by the cops for speeding.
So Dave meets a college student. He pretends to be Italian, and she falls
it's
for
just
him.
like he's constantly Italian, pretty much in the movie.
She says, "Oh, you're Italian," and he goes, "Yeah."
But he's always like speaking Italian, singing in Italian, listening to Italian.
He realizes he painted himself into a corner there, and it's now, in her eyes, Italian. And the college kids, they get into a brawl with the townies, and as a punishment, they have to allow a townie team into the bike race, which I don't really see how that's a punishment. But and then the fancy college guy is actually trying to date the same guy that
Same gal.
the same girl.
Yeah.
Ellis from Die Hard.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering, he looked familiar.
That smirk.
The Italians come to town. They are jerks, and they stick a
Oh my God.
bike pump into his spokes, and he loses all of his love for the Italians.
Because Dave is the only one of the locals able to catch up with them and keep up with them, and they just treat him like shit and crash his bike. Assholes.
Yeah. And he's very sad. There's a very tender moment when he cries on his dad's shoulder, and his dad finally relents and gives him a nice hug.
Not only he lose the race, but he loses his whole life is the Italians at some level.
He loses his faith, I think. Briefly.
Yeah, and he's both injured, loses the race, and loses like his raised in the ultra, or like his identity.
But his friends convince him, we'll be in the team together in this race, and basically you'll ride the whole race. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. And so he fixes up the bike in the scene that Ken mentioned, where he's fixing up the bike. Is that the one you're talking about?
From last week? Yeah.
And they do the race.
And who knows if they're going to win or not?
Yeah. Seeing it in the theater was very fun because everyone was cheering.
There's one of Yates's signature simple style of the last 2 laps of just being without music and following the bikes around the track. So fucking good.
And I thought the crowd scenes there were, you talked about the docudrama. Like, I thought it almost was as if they were just filming at an actual bike race with the crowd and in the stands.
Mm-hmm. And the great thing about, this race actually exists.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about it is it's a relay race, but it's not maintained as though like you don't have to hand off at any point in time.
Just whenever you get tired. Yep.
So, and you have 4 people on your team. And so it just works out really well for the structure of their friendship to be able to do this.
How well do you guys think you'd be able to do that bike handoff at high speed?
I could not do it at all.
I don't. If
Zero.
it was Ken and myself,
oh my God,
I don't know if I would reach the pedals. I can do the handoff, but then it'd be like a penny farthing or something.
Yeah.
I'm jumping up, pulling myself onto the seat, and then my feet are just dangling.
Yeah.
Jackie Earl Haley did not adjust the seat, which is probably more implausible than a man swallowing a diamond and living.
There's 2 things in this movie that I'm like, that's one of them. It's like, there's no way he'd be on his tippy toes.
Yeah,
at the very least.
It didn't bother me at all, but it is. He's just so fucking short, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, he's gonna beat you up if you say that.
Yeah, don't say that.
Oh, I love Jackie Earle Haley. I think he's a great actor.
No, but in the movie, if you call him short, that's what blows his feet.
Yeah.
You want to punch the clock, and then he takes his hand and just punches the clock because he's so short.
He's like, fuck it.
Don't forget to punch the clock.
So yeah, he's got a bit of a Napoleon complex, right? As Moocher. While all this is happening, there's the town drama as well. It's somewhat introduced by Dave and his girlfriend because of the fights that end up happening, but also he has to confess to her that he's not Italian at some point. He's going to join the race and she's going to notice. And she says, "You know what you are? You know what you are?" And then never says what it is and leaves, which is a lot of fun, right? But he ends up taking, along with Stern's Cyril character, a task for placement in college. And his dad was a cutter. All their dads were cutters. They helped cut the stones that would go into the university and other stone crafting things. And those jobs are no longer around.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be the snooty college kids if they could. And there's a risk of knowing whether or not you could actually have that future for yourself.
They're also afraid. That scene with Dooley and I forget the actor's name, when they go to the university, he's talking about the stone at the the university.
Yeah, the father and son as they're
My
walking
God.
around the university.
Man, I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Such a great scene.
Yeah, the dad is a bit of a 70s dad, right? Like, woman, where's my food at some level? But there's a lot of tenderness there underneath it that eventually, I feel like helps mitigate a lot of just that.
He has his tender side. He will take his pocket protector off.
Before they make it.
That's a sexy side.
It's on.
I really like how subtly Yates and Teach are able to locate Paul Dooley's behavior as him just going through a hard time in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And once he kind of figures that out, how he softens, but it's not an implausible turn for the character, despite what a dick he was being earlier in the movie, because he's got these health problems. You can tell he hates his job. So it's really great character work for Dooley to sell that
like
transition.
He's like, I suffered. He doesn't have any joy. And then he almost realizes, oh wait, I can be joyful. I can enjoy things. What my kid's doing, I can support and get into as well, instead of
his whole Italian thing, right? Like, he's cosplaying Italian and he loves it. Like, that's like his identity.
The kid.
Yeah, our main character, Dave Stoley. But also the mom, right? Because the mom has that really quiet moment with Dave as well, where she shows him her passport.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, maybe one day there would be somebody new working when I go to cash a check and they'll ask me for some identification and I could pull it out. It's relatively cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sad. Beautiful. Beautiful writing.
Yeah, I mean, and so there is a sense that because of economic turns, that they will need to leave their community. They'll need to leave their family. And I think
Chicago.
And it's even like introduced very early on, right? Because they're at the quarry and one of them says, like, my dad said Jesus never left a 30-mile radius during his whole life. And then this Quaid's character is like, yeah, how'd that work out for him?
So Tessich, the cycling version of the script was based on when he went to the University of Illinois. He was I think Yugoslavian, Serbian. His family moved when he was very young to the United States, but he was there, and the little 500, the 200 lap relay bike race, he was in it, and his teammate Dave won the race that year by doing 139 out of the 200 laps. So he actually asked them to make sure he could use his name when they made the movie, because that's the part that was based on stuff that he really experienced. And I saw a news report about the actual Dave in his 80s who still rides a bike and still sings Italian opera.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. It was like the 70th or 75th anniversary of the Little 500. Adorable.
And they mentioned at the screening that the team that keeps winning that actual race since the 80s has won it many times called the Cutters.
So we had reactions. This is a great movie.
No, we're not reactions. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I'll edit that out.
No, I just wanted to say, just for a little bit of background, this is, I think, the only movie maybe that Roy Schneider's ex-wife fully edited, but she was on some huge things.
Roy Schneider's ex-wife?
Yeah, her name's Cynthia Schneider.
Oh, maybe just say her name, not
Scheider, not Rob Schneider.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Roy Scheider.
Deuce Bigelow!
Including Sorcerer.
Ooh.
And so she did a lot of assistant editing, but this is, I think, the first time that she got to fully edit the film, which it's amazing how good like this film fits together, just how quickly it moves.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, how quiet it can get when need be. Okay. I would say that this is such a good film, they should make a television series about it shortly afterwards. And
with the same actress playing the mom? I love that idea. Let's do it.
Hey. That one guy, the Italian guy, wasn't supposed to be an Italian guy, pretending to be Italian. He didn't really hit for us. How about we get a singer?
Yeah.
Do we know any Cassidys? They made a television series of this, Shannon, like 2 years later.
I had no idea. Was it good?
There was like a writer's strike and it lasted one season, maybe, but it was a prequel. It was about his life before, before he graduated high school, and how he got into maybe something about the Italians.
Okay.
But I didn't see any of it. Ken, were you around for that?
Yes, but I don't remember it.
Oh, okay.
Great story.
Great story. I don't want to lose my bet, so I'm just trying to find ways of not hearing Ryan's reaction yet.
Ryan, what did you think of this movie?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Who won?
I did.
Yes, because you don't not like it. So pretty good.
Yes.
You want to expand on that, Ryan?
I have coming of age films are not my favorite genre. So that's part of it. And then I think this suffers from the thing where it's such a blueprint for many other probably inferior 80s teen sports movies that some of the beats felt predictable in that way. But I think the acting is great. I think the writing's pretty good. I think Yates does a great job with the direction. The quarry where they swim is one of the coolest locations, rather, that I've ever seen in a movie. And the angles that Yates gets out of those portions of the film are just phenomenal. And particularly at the end there in those last 2 laps that Ken called out, the use of the cycling and kind of the merging of the human body and the mechanics of the bicycle into this very beautiful form is really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those 2 laps, because it's just the camera just follows them around the track, and they're acting because one guy goes ahead and one guy drops back. So the whole thing is obviously rehearsed and acted, but it feels like you're actually there and you're just watching a bike race.
And he's plausibly a good cyclist. I think that would be very hard to fake because it's just challenging to ride a bicycle for that period of time, but and so fast. But he really sells it very well.
Yeah, some people just have the oxygen heart ratio like Lance Armstrong did. He didn't need to blood dope, but he did. But he was also a freak of nature to begin with.
But
it's very plausible.
Just to sate Shannon's desires, I will say that I prefer the Jackie Earl Haley vehicle, The Bad News Bears, to this film.
Oh, you know what?
Whoa.
I have a galaxy brain for this movie. Unless I want to hear what Shannon and Thomas has to say first.
Hated it.
Whatever.
I'll go. Yeah, so I really, really enjoy this movie every time I see it. It had been a while since the last time I had, and I enjoyed every minute. I thought the parents were charming. I'd forgotten about what a large role they played in the film since the last time I'd seen it. I loved watching Dave's enthusiasm and watching him go through that sort of, coming to terms with, meeting your heroes and that not going well. I actually thought they did a good job with the townie versus the college students. The college students weren't cartoonishly bad. Even the main guy at the end, he's kind of like half smiling a little bit when the other team wins.
Yeah.
And the quarry I found kind of menacing. I think I was always afraid that someone was going to fall and hit their head on a rock. Something like that. Nothing. It didn't.
I mean,
but
he hit his head. Quaid hits his head.
Oh, he did. Sorry. Yeah,
he
did hit his head on a rock. Sorry. That's why it's menacing. I knew that was going to happen when I watched it again. Pardon me. Yeah. So that was quite the moment when he was so desperate to keep going, and he hits his head and he's flushed. And the other guy.
Yeah, but almost
kind of like, whoa! I didn't expect that to happen.
Almost instantly, all his 3 buddies jump in to save him.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
So, and I'm not much for cycling or racing or sports movies in general, but I was, watching, very excited to see who was going to win because I'd forgotten.
He could come in second place, right? This could be a Rocky.
I just rewatched Rear Window, and the whole time I was like, did he do it? And I've seen it so many times. So I just, get to watch with a fresh brain.
Imagine, wow. That's like having Alzheimer's. Like it's gonna be so amazing when you're senile, just to be able to rewatch every movie you had just watched.
I say that all the time. I can't wait.
Yeah. So anyway,
to rewatch every movie for the first time.
I love this movie, and I would watch it again. And I'm glad we got to talk about it today.
Yeah, I almost don't think of this as a sports movie, only because I think some of the most powerful things in it are stuff that's just to the side, like watching the dad, the Paul Dooley character, go to the stone cutting place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to be there to like get his son a job, or he's going to be there for some type of maybe even something corrupt, or like he's taking a payout or something.
But he
like,
was just visiting.
Visiting the old place, and the old place is lax enough, like in its safety and other regulations, that let him like have a few goes at it, like have him cut some stone because he wants to do that. He misses it. And presumably completely off the books, like no money changed hands. It was just something he loves to do, and they let him go play with their toys a little bit.
So,
the second one is whenever Dave's love interest, who sees him in town, and I think Dave's like getting ready for his big race by eating a hot dog, drinking a lot of Coca-Cola. And she says to him, like, she's leaving town. It just happens that they see each other, run into each other. And I think a lesser movie or a lesser script would have her, like, try and stay in touch with them, or, like, promise to stay in touch with them. And instead, she's like, yeah, I'm going back to Chicago.
She said she's going to Italy.
And then she's going to end up going to Italy because he inspired her. And he said something about, like, wishing that he could go somewhere. And she was like, no, you're going to go places. And just a very soft touch of like promise that's there in the film.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't even mention an early John Ashton appearance as Dennis Quaid's brother, I believe, the police officer.
Yeah, Roy.
Mm-hmm. Very, very low-key relationship they have that has its ups and downs throughout the movie. But then at the end, he's one of the people cheering him on.
Yeah, which at the end, there's like there's also like this sad moment because it's everybody's film at some level. Because you get to see Cyril looking around,
not having anybody.
Nobody to celebrate with, and so he like goes back to celebrating with the crowd. But he has nobody because everybody else has somebody showing up, right? Because you have Mooch's wife, his newlywed wife. You have Mike, the Dennis Quaid character's brother, and then Dave's dad came, and mom are there.
Yeah. Stern's performance is great, and his look on his face when he's kind of looking around going, all right. It's very sad resignation.
Yeah, and the whole bit that he talks when he's walking with Dave, and he lets him know about taking the college exam or going to be taking it, and he's like, yeah, my dad is never happier than when I am a fuck up.
He's like, his birthday's coming up, so I should take the exam.
Yeah.
Very sad. You never see his dad.
No.
Right, Ken?
Do you remember when we watched First Blood?
Yes.
You read the book. And I remember saying that this felt like a transition from 70s style downer, we lost Vietnam, Richard Nixon left the White House in disgrace movie to the more triumphant and hopeful 80s. Because, they changed his suicide at the end. I have a theory about this movie having the same place in sports movies.
Okay.
Because my favorite sports movies of all time are the 70s movies where it's a moral victory, but not like a, hey, we won victory. And that would be Longest Yard, Slapshot, Rocky, and the Bad News Bears. Those are like my four favorite because they feel like life in that sometimes you can feel good even though you don't get the trophy. And sometimes, America in the 70s was like, yeah, we may have lost, but we're still cool as shit. And that's the feeling that those movies give. And this movie, having them win at the end and still kind of couched in the naturalism and realism and kind of economic realities of the 70s. But then, they kind of win. So it's kind of a happy ending. And as we move into the 80s, there's rarely sports films where they don't win. That's my theory.
So this film is a transition between
the 70s and Reagan's triumphant, ridiculous 80s. Yeah. And I mean that in a good way, because it's kind of a capper. Not every movie has to have the person lose like Rocky, but then somehow have a moral victory. At some point, we just wanted to start winning again as a country. I'm not saying that as a good thing or a bad thing. And I think that taps into it inadvertently. Also, the slight anti-intellectualism of the lunch pail blue collar guys and the university types is something that would grow even more in the 1980s.
I was going to say that because I think that one interesting thing I like about this film is that it gives a perspective of like why the Cutters and the Townies don't want to like look down on the college people, or I guess adverse to them, but also why they need them there, and also the end of the film isn't. It's not Hillbilly Elegy. Covered this season somehow. But it's there is a sense of escape, but also joy at the end, right? Because his son, like the end of the film is almost schmartzy. It's like almost a little too much. I think it just hits the right key of you have the protagonist meeting a French woman, a co-ed, and they're riding, and he's becoming interested in French. And then you see the dad riding a bicycle, was probably good for his heart, right?
Yeah, because he's having another fucking kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he says, like, he sees his son and says hi, and his son says, what? Bonjour?
Bonjour,
Yes.
Papa.
And he like looks back, like, oh no, it's all over, and it freeze frames on him.
I do think the Hillbilly Elegy call out is appropriate because this movie takes place right at the end of industrial America. And Hillbilly Elegy obviously is attempting to illustrate the fallout of this time period and how it still reverberates throughout these communities, 30, 40 years later. Even if Hillbilly Elegy is not a good movie, they do have similar context in that way.
I think this movie is more inadvertent. I think when I'm talking about the two different scripts kind of smushed together. Yeah, I don't think there's an intentionality on Tessich's part, being a novelist and a guy who went to the university he's writing about, of trying to cosplay as being blue collar lunch pail guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the historical irony is that Reagan killed these small towns, through policy choices. So there's no way that they would have known what was coming for communities like this. Yeah,
but there was stuff percolating in the culture that this taps into in the best way that movies often do, almost inadvertently.
And now, ironically, one of the value propositions that someone like J.D. Vance sells is we can bring these quarries back. You can get your dad's job at the limestone cutting mill, and everything will go back to how great it was before this period of time.
Well, as long as I don't have to wear a light on my bicycle or a helmet on my head when I'm riding on the highway, I'm voting J.D. Vance.
So stressed out as a dad. I'm the dad now. When I watched it originally as a teenager, I was like, fuck yeah. Now as a dad, it's like, put on your helmet, son. What are you doing?
I mean, I get wobbles like at 30 miles an hour. I can't
You're going
imagine
60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was certain he was going to fall when he's chasing the semi.
There's a guy who volunteers where I work who will sometimes ride his bike to do his deliveries. And I asked him about this. And he says, I don't know if I've seen it. And I said, yeah, it's about some young guys in Indiana in the 70s. And he's like, wait, is that the movie where the guy in the semi-truck is putting out his hand for how fast he's going? That's what he remembered about this movie. So
maybe, is he just like semi-trucks? Is he like, I've seen that movie in Duel. That's all I've seen.
Yep.
Maximum Overdrive.
Convoy.
Yeah. Maximum Overdrive. Yeah.
Yep.
Transformers movie.
I think we got a new season coming up. Semi-tough. Coming soon to the Good, the Pod.
I would add Terminator 2.
Oh yeah.
Isn't Smokey and the Bandit 2 a semi-truck movie too?
Oh boy, it has the convergence of all the semis in the desert at the end.
Yeah.
To
Amazing
make a
movie.
bridge, if I remember right, he drives over the tops of the semis.
Possibly. It's been a while. I just remember Burt Reynolds running out of the horse chute at the race when he's doing his training montage with horses
Well, we're wrapping up the hacks portion of this season. Mick Jackson, our first director,
Mick Jackson
prevented nuclear war. Dimitrik invented the first-person shooter game.
Yep.
Ron Howard is the reason that we have Project Hail Mary.
Wow.
And Yates warned us about the Italians.
And invented the car chase.
And sneakers.
God damn it.
So did I pass the test? Is Yates a hack? Or is there enough individual style, particularly in his early films I talked about last week, that sets him slightly apart? Thomas.
I don't know enough on the production of the Yates films that we covered to fully be able to say that. Because I guess one of the things I've realized about later Howard films is that if somebody got fired from a job, he would be offered it, right? Like Hollywood sees him as somebody you can just slot in.
Right.
And having seen only outside of what we've covered, the Mother, Speed, and Jugs. That might not be the right Mother, Jugs, and Speed.
Yeah.
He I don't know if he fully qualifies as a full-on hack. I think that he has some intentionality behind. I think he has a touch, but that also might just be the 70s and coloring my understanding of like what's possible in a 70s film.
Yeah, I think once he took Koral, he became a hack. But I think his from Robbery through this film that we're talking about, I think there is enough individual stylistic touches and things he's interested in, the procedure and process and that kind of stuff. But I think there's a bit of a through line, even when the movies aren't very good. Second Koral came along, though. I think the rest of his movies, like the Cher movie with Dennis Quaid, Suspect or whatever it's called. It's a fun movie, but it has none of the stylistic touches of the 70s movies we were talking about, and Bullet.
I was surprised to find, I think all four of these directors qualify as hacks, or at least have the same function on a movie. I think the Yates different is script selection and what he chooses to get involved in. But I think all four of the directors we've picked are somewhat unfussy in their presentation of the material. Mick Jones also, I thought, had an interest in Mick Jackson, had an interest in process and procedure as well. And I just think Yates was working at a time in the 70s where Hollywood was just generally making more interesting movies. And he was lucky to get on Bullet and then made some really smart choices after that.
And then Koral.
I do think it's interesting that Yates never... Bullet is like an adrenaline shot of an action movie, and he never really turns that knob again. I guess you could argue that the racing in Breaking Away is pretty exciting, but he's never doing high octane stuff, pardon the pun, again.
Yeah, there's a scene in Eyewitness where very similar to the Hot Rock when Robert Redford gets out of jail, but there's a scene where a bad guy in a car is driving after William Hurt and Sigourney Weaver on like a little scooter.
Okay.
It is so slow paced and sidewalk dependent that I almost feel like Yates is purposely doing like anti-Bullet stuff when it involves vehicles.
Right.
To get away from it instead of leaning into it. Whereas like William Friedkin is like, fuck yeah, I'll do Sorcerer. I'll put a chase scene and car chase into Live and Die in LA. Yeah, like, if that's what's going to get my movies made, I will go ahead and do it.
Well, and I think all four of these directors also had at least one movie that was a surprising hit, and they could have kind of picked, they could have become auteurs after that, or could have made a real effort to do so. And all four of them kind of picked something a little bit different, a little bit more low key afterwards, and never really pursued that auteurist status. I think Ron Howard thinks he's an auteur, but no.
Yeah, well said. That about sums it up. Shannon, what do you think about Peter Yates as a hack or auteur based on the 2 movies you watched?
You know, I don't know if I have a dog in this fight. Not to push dog fighting or anything, but I don't know. I think Breaking Away is great. I didn't love The Hot Rock, and I don't know about any of these other films, so I'm just going to say...
I guess the definition of a hack, can you tell that they are made by the same director? Anything about the 2 movies?
Gosh, you know, I don't think I could tell that they were by the same person.
That's a hack.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, hack.
The pacing feels similar, but a lot of 70s movies have this kind of pacing.
No, not to me. Or at least if there were slower moments in Breaking Away, they felt like I enjoyed them.
Yeah, if they showed The Hot Rock at the Hollywood Theater, they would hand out pillows probably as well, like on a long flight, little blankets and pillows.
Well, because people would need their energy because it would be a double bill with Sneakers, which is basically the same movie.
God damn you!
I did enjoy The Hot Rock a little bit more than Breaking Away.
Whoa,
that's what I'm talking about. I think I win the bet.
One was rated 4 stars and the other 3.5. So,
wow.
Wait, Breaking Away's 3.5.
Yeah.
You know what? You should watch Volcano because it might be a 12-star movie for you.
I don't think enjoyment of a single film signals an overall quality of taste, but I prefer Risky Business because it's sending up this kind of narrative.
Then what? Risky Business
to Breaking Away, you know. Risky Business is my 5-star coming of age teen movie.
Is that the one where Tom Cruise is dancing in his undies?
Yes.
Okay, and a shirt.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That is that film's version of the semi driver putting out his fingers for how fast the kid's going. It's like the only thing anybody remembers.
Yeah.
So Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
You say is better than Breaking Away.
I enjoy it more. I don't think there's anything wrong with the construction of Breaking Away. I certainly see why a lot of people love it. It just doesn't hit me that way. I really like, again, Bad News Bears, which came out a year before this, is still in that 70s malaise. And, you know, having the drunk coach and the swearing kids and the whole thing
He's
where
a
they
CIA
can't win
agent,
anything.
Right?
That would be a few years later in Hopscotch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but on a sure enjoyment level, I would put on Bad News Bears before I would put on Breaking Away.
And Jackie Earle Haley seems taller in that film somehow, right?
That's because he's working with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, he is the oldest member of the team. So
okay, I was surprised to learn that later he had some doldrums as far as acting. Like, very quiet 90s. He'd come back in the aughts.
Little Children.
As Freddy Krueger.
Frederick Krueger.
Oh, no, it's Little Children, Rorschach, and Freddy Krueger. Those are his big comebacks.
He's also in Lincoln somehow, but everybody was in Lincoln, I think.
He was there to make Daniel Day-Lewis look taller.
He's in Amazon's TV show of The Tick.
Oh, really?
He's one of the villains there. And
okay.
He benefited later from life for looking really gnarly.
Yeah, he's got a great face. Is that it for hacks? Are we done?
I think we're done with hacks, but we're not done with this season.
No.
So we're going to continue on with 4 more movies.
Mm-hmm. We are each going to choose a film that will not be able to be covered the normal way we talk about movies. So it's going to be another 1 by 1.
Just
last
like
time,
Friends of Eddie Coyle.
Friends of Eddie Coyle. Mystery Road, Risky Business, and what was yours, Thomas? Sneakers?
No. Sneakers was side gig, right?
Side hustle.
Yeah. No, mine was Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Which is having a 30th anniversary live performance this summer that I'm going to see.
Is that right?
Nice.
Do you have tickets, Thomas?
Not as of yet.
Better get them.
Where is it playing?
Revolution Hall.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's a different movie, though. We are going to spin the roulette wheel and figure out what those 4 movies are going to be and which one will be first. So stay tuned, right?
Yes.
Shannon, thank you for being with us these past 2 weeks.
My absolute pleasure.
In Italian, please.
Molto piacere. I don't know how to say that.
How about in Netherlandese? Can you say it?
Aangenaam,
Very good.
I think is how you say pleasure to meet you. So, I'm just learning.
So just like goodbye and thank you. Yeah.
Tot ziens.
Okay.
Alstublieft. Yeah, there's some Dutch. Arrivederci.
What's Dutch for the Hot Rock is a better movie than Sneakers? It's not, but I want to hear what it is.
Yeah, I'll have to translate that one. I'll get back to you.
Okay, very good. Ryan, thank you for the theme song.
Sure.
Thomas, thank you for the show notes.
What? I'm sorry, I was watching She-Devil. Hey, Ken, thank you for editing.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. So most of the time.
Stick around next week where we'll announce the movie, and it might be Sneakers for all 4 of us.
Woo. Yep. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao. That's bye and hello, right? Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
In space. Time. Running a temporal pincer movement. Messing up temporal. Yeah, pincer movement. In space. Time. Running a temporal pincer movement. Messing up temporal. Yeah, pincer movement. In space. Time. Running a temporal pincer movement. Messing up temporal. Yeah, pincer movement. In space. Time. Running a temporal pincer movement. Messing up temporal. Yeah, pincer movement. In space. Time. Sniff all off, messing up. Yeah, sniff.
I have a big announcement to make at the end of this episode. Stay tuned.
Michael Jackson?
Platza.
And it was like a public service announcement. Don't lock yourself in old fridges because they would seal and you'd suffocate.
Bloomington.
I'm voting JD Vance.
Bloomington.